Did you take your meds? You're such a good boy, Seth.
They all need to be like him.
I wish.
Me too.
If they were all 10 years old, maybe.
Thank you very much, mister.
I know, he is starting early. Friday. Yeah. Yeah, now we have an extra one on the list for Miss Divinity. That just makes me so sad that they get treats now. She better give a pat or something.
Thank you, Sethy. He's like, yeah, whatever.
He's ready for his close-up. He's ready for his close-up.
Hey, all you cool cats and kittens. It's Carol at Big Cat Rescue, and I'm following Momma Becky and Lynda Licht, and they are handing out evening meds. This is not their meals. They get fed in the morning, except for a couple of the cats that won't eat in the morning, so they get fed at night. But this is their evening medication. And I apologize for this being so bouncy, but I'm trying to keep the dust down. We've been in a drought, and driving these golf carts around, you can see how much dust is being kicked up, even though she's driving really slowly. So I'm on my bike. Why, thank you, Gail. Hi, Matthew. You want to sing that song whenever you...
We always do, right?
You got to do the King Tut dance.
See, mine with him, it's usually Tutty Buddy, you're the one. Oh, yeah. You make feeding lots of fun. This Tutty Buddy is the one for me.
Who knew you had such a pretty voice?
Who else do we have? Little Dove? I have a plate for Little Dove. I'll have one for Apache and Divinity. Walk through and do a little.
Hey, Lauren.
Give her some time to
Hi,
eat.
PK.
Yeah, now with her, I usually make her come out before I leave.
Yeah.
Because if she doesn't, then she like goes back to sleep.
I forgot why I was awake.
Yeah, exactly.
Lynda's crew did an awesome job today getting the leaves all raked out of Zimba's enclosure.
And Frosty.
And Frosty, yeah.
Frosty too. Yes. Where is Miss Linda?
Well, while they're sorting that out, I'm going to see if we can find a cat.
Because here's her food.
I have spent the whole day organizing things on my hard drive. I had a, what do you call those backup drives? I had a backup drive crash that took down my entire Dropbox. Hi, Anasazi. Oh, she's a good bobcat. Yes, she is. So I bought a new backup drive and had to move something like 365,000 files from Dropbox to the new drive, which took like a week. And it's finally done, and so now I'm able to go through a bunch of files that I've been downloading off of my phone, but have not had the time to put up over on YouTube. What I like to do is, after doing these live feeds, then take that video and put it up on YouTube, because some people don't have access to Facebook, or they can't watch it live. Hi, Mrs. Claus. Were you getting all comfy there? You looked like you were getting comfy in the sand. So I created a video called The Lost Files from January to March. And then there were the Lost Files 2, which had a lot of the white servals and white tiger, so it's the white Lost Files. And now I'm working on a video of Anasazi and Divinity. And after that, I've probably got 4 more half-hour to hour-long videos to put together from all of those files that I have not uploaded yet. You want what King Tut has, huh? I know. We did one of you, yeah, when you had your seizure. That's being uploaded, I think, right now. Whenever I upload stuff, I have to upload it to YouTube and Vimeo and Facebook, and well, these I won't because they were on Facebook already, and then to the Amazon cloud to keep a backup. Oh, I forgot to let Luana know I was coming over here. Let me see if I can text her. Okay, just texted Luana to let her know that we are live. Oh, I see she's there because she's talking to Danielle. Thank you. At least she's on the ball if I'm not. I miss his floof too, but it's too hot for all that floof. Yeah, you're getting your summer coat on because it's 93 degrees. Do you love your tree? I love my tree. Oh, I don't need you grabbing for the camera. PK, this is Big Cat Rescue in Tampa, Florida. She does do a nice job with her eyeliner, Donna. The next cat that they're going to give medications to will be Divinity, and Divinity is not going to come out if she sees a crowd of us over there, so I'm not going to be following them to Divinity. Where are you going? You're such a petite eater. Take you forever to eat all that. Angie, I did not realize it was his birthday tomorrow. He's gonna be 1 year old, which means you're probably more than 1 year old because you're older than he is. Come skidding into me. You think I couldn't hear you? Woo! I don't have anything for you, son. Goodness, you're gonna wear yourself out. Christina, that was a Savannah cat. It's a cross between a domestic cat and a wild cat, which is a really stupid thing to do, but people do it. And once they get to be adults, they usually turn them loose or send them to animal control because they spray urine all over the house to mark their territory. And it doesn't matter if they're male or female, neutered or spayed, they spray bucket loads of urine. Mrs. Claus was hugging her tree over there. I know that video that I was creating today from several months ago when Nabisco had his seizure. It was so scary to see him just collapse like that. He's doing fine now, as you can see. Shandi, thank you for posting that link to our cams. There goes Nabisco back to the other side. You gonna go get him? Go get him. Yes, I certainly mirror what Luana said. Thank you so much, everybody who is liking these videos and sharing them. It helps us reach a lot more people with the message about why these cats don't belong in cages to begin with. Oh dear. Seems so weird to hear people talking about it snowing. My goodness. As long as you're just making drawings from the images, that's fine. What are you chasing, Smalls? Smalls was on some dewormer last week for all the stuff she keeps catching and eating. You're the great lizard killer, aren't you? Gonna single-handedly wipe out that invasive species. That's Nabisco in the background trying to get her attention. Snow in the panhandle? Panhandle of what? It can't be Florida, unless you're talking about like during the winter. Smalls, if you could see all these little hearts coming your way, baby. Pharaoh. In the videos that I posted today over at youtube.com/dailybigcat, there were a lot of video of Pharaoh and Tonga, the white servals. Don't know how we ended up with so much of that. Hey, Nala. I was wondering if these cute bobcats next door would let me film them. Hi. Is that little Kelowna? I think it is. Maybe it's Dryden. Dryden's the braver one. Are you Dryden? You must be Dryden. I don't see you guys enough to be able to tell you apart yet. It's like, I hear Momma Becky coming. I really like Momma Becky. Where's your girlfriend? Where's that cute girlfriend of yours? Thank you, Howard. My husband's name is Howard. Check out those ear tufts. That cute little white tail.
I remember seeing Tonga on the list. And Tonga has this thing about ground beef. And that's it. So beautiful. What? Dryden. No, but he's so mean. He's so mean to his sissy. Aww. Tries to steal her food all the time. You, sweetheart.
I'm so mad. There's none for me.
You can go and you can drop food in his lockout. And then head back here to give her some. And he runs through and he traps you over there in the narrow spot. Yep. And he steals her food.
I know, that's why they need to be separated.
I know. Tonga loves his treats.
Oh, God.
Was that good? Was that good? He's like, that's it? I only got one ball? Come on, Pete. No, because you have to eat your ivermectin tomorrow.
Yes, Diane, this is evening meds.
Look at, he's got a white stripe on his nose.
I will be back in a minute, but I can't change right now.
Mike, there are leopards, and there's a leopard coming up very shortly. Sabre leopard is 25 years old. He's a black leopard, and he's on the evening meds list.
Yep, he's next.
He's next, they say.
Bye, Tong. Bye, Tong.
Grab my bike. Barbara, I think Nova's release date is going to be in July. I'm not sure about that, but that seems to be my last recollection of that. Usually on the weekends we get more people to make the Call of the Wild at bigcatact.com because we have more visitors on Saturday and Sunday, but I have not had a chance yet to go to tigerrescue.org and see what the current number is. So if somebody could check that out and give me the current number, the bottom number, which is the people who actually completed the call, that would be exciting to know. Headed over to see Sabre leopard. Who appears to be in his den. Yep, not behind the den, so he must be in the den. 550. That makes me very happy.
Baby. Baby. Yeah, he's looking the other way. Come on, Sabe. Hey. Sabre. Oh,
I hope that rain moves our way too. It's been taunting me, all those rain clouds, and not any rain the last 2 days.
Sabre.
Okay, I need all of you online to call Sabre or text Sabre. Post his name into the comments.
Come on, sugar butt. Come on. You can stop
Who
right there
are
if
you
want.
calling sugar butt?
You can stop right there and I'll get it to you.
After he sits and lays on that sand, he definitely looks like
I know. It's covered in hair.
Not that he needs any reason to be any sweeter.
I know. We got one more to grow on. Good boy. Thank you very much, Julie man. Yay! He's like, that's it. Thank you, handsome boy.
It's hard to focus on you. You're so dark. Oop. You don't want the camera. Camera's no fun. Want to play with the ball? Thank you, ma'am.
Playing Let's Get Carol.
He learned it from Seth.
Yeah.
Seth would like to eat me, I think.
Yes, he likes.
Are you being such a good boy, Frosty? Are you so happy everybody raked your cage today? Made it so beautiful? Planted grass? Yes, Mike, Sabre is a black leopard. We have 2 black leopards here and 4 golden ones. Sounds like one of those like online drug commercials. Drugs to your door. This is JoJo. JoJo is a cross between a serval and a caracal, which doesn't happen in the wild even though they both live in Africa. Servals usually hang out closer to waterways and caracals are more of a higher altitude cat. But unfortunately, as long as people will pay to see a freak, there are evil people who will breed them in captivity. We don't believe any of these cats should be bred for life in cages because they should be wild and they can't go free if they've been born in a cage, so it's just wrong to breed them. Mike, I have a hard time telling servals apart. I really have a hard time. And our whole, if you look at the way our cages are built, they're like these rounded, odd-shaped conglomerations that are joined together with these little tunnels from one to the other. And so you get in the middle of those and I start looking around, I'm like, who are these cats? Really takes a long time to study them for me. People like Becky or Lynda, they're around them all the time and they can tell you immediately who they're looking at. Julie, unfortunately, when government agencies decide to try and enforce the meager laws that they have, you're often talking about 6 years before they can actually go in and even seize an animal. And then you're talking about another 2 to 6 years for them to go through the whole appeals process with the former owners until they actually have legal custody of the animals, even though they've been seized years before. So it could be another 4 years, as long as people will keep funding the people that are breaking the laws and whining about how the government's taken away their property, then they end up being stuck in the legal system. Tanya, I think it's 73, but it might be 74 with Baby Cakes, the civet. He's the only animal here who's not a cat. But that number changes a lot because we rescue a bobcat from the wild and then rehab them and send them back to the wild. or we bring in new rescues, so that number's always fluid, but somewhere around 73 or 74. Lynda is separating Jade and Armani, or trying to. You guys aren't being very helpful. There we go. That's Armani and her sister Jade. Wow. Wow. We had a party at the party house today, and one of the speakers was a veterinarian who specializes in skin issues, and he left his card in case we need any help with her. Whatever they've got her on now really seems to be working well, but we're just now heading into the hot season too, so it seems to be started by a mosquito bite, and once she gets bitten by anything, she just goes crazy, licking at it. So that's why she has to be on medications, is to keep her from licking a hot spot open. I hear somebody crashing around back there. And there's Sundari. Sundari is on funcation in the 22,000 square foot funcation area. Hi, girlfriend. Who's that pretty girl? I just see your silhouette up there. She's found the highest, shadiest spot in the whole place. Kira, sometimes it's with a topical medication. Right now she's on an oral medication that they're going to give her in a piece of meat. And we've even tried laser therapy. We've tried everything. Essential oils. You name it. Laura, the easiest way to tell these two cats apart is Jade has like a little V-shaped tiara of spots. And Armani's spots are very random.
I don't have your sister.
Lynda's going to distract Armani while Becky gives Jade her meds. If you see her wrist there, how her fur just is a little patchy, really looks good, but that's where she usually messes with herself.
Is it a good girl? Yes, you are. You're the best girl.
She always has.
Judy needs a bite of this. Yeah, see, you know how to eat it. You open your mouth. Yeah. Thank you, girls.
The wrist looks really good.
Doesn't it though?
Unlike Cheetaro's butt.
Yeah.
Okay. I got to check on Diablo. He didn't eat a lot today, so he got a little extra food tonight.
And Hope says to die for gorgeous, so I don't know if she's talking about the leopards or you two ladies.
Oh, thank you, Hope. I'm sure
it's the leopards, but that's okay. They are beautiful. Before I check on Diablo, I'm going to take this scaredy pants. Reise, who hasn't eaten at all today. I put it on this lockout tray. So Reise has been having issues wanting to come out neat, not wanting to come out neat.
Well, she's had her knickers in a knot because my brother's been building that den box for days, so it's finally done. And then there was a whole crew of people that put sand in there, and she's just like, oh, I do not trust any of this.
Yesterday, Mac, he would not come out of his den. All he would do was stare at Chuck's back. So I had to go into the little window in his new den, stick the stick this way on the side of his head so he could go and not take his eyes off Chuck and still eat his food. It's like, oh my
Chuck is
gosh.
so scary. Oh my gosh.
I know. It's like, Chuck, are you over here scaring the cats? I don't know.
He's just so big.
Well, and, you know, he's got to get it done before it gets, 900 degrees here.
Or starts raining.
Yeah. She's going to love it when she gets in there. She's just hates change. And Mac, it took him till last night to come out. Now, I guess today he didn't want to come out either.
Oh, look who's talking.
Who's coming out now?
Room service is okay with you? I'm going to stay back in case she feels like a crowd is too much.
Are you ready to do a little something? Finally? Finally, we gotta have our fill first. We gotta have our fill first. I know you'll hit the stick. That's the only way I can make sure you get it. Yeah, thank you very much.
Knocked it right off the stick.
You wanna try this again? You ready? Ready? Thank you. Oh, I can't laugh at her. She'll be mad at me. She is a ferocious animal.
Under the right circumstances.
She is a mess eater. That's the first thing she did. That's because she tried to grab so much in her mouth at one time. First thing she did is she knocked the net off the stick. Somebody had to pick all the leaves off.
Diana, they do know their names, but just like your cat at home, whether or not they respond to them is entirely up to their mood. Grace, our vet, reviews all of the cats' diets and bases it on their age, their activity level, what the cats will or won't eat. They have certain preferences, some of the cats do. And then he creates a chart, and Gail makes up laminated charts so that the feeders know exactly how much to set aside for each cat every day. Of course, it means throwing away a lot of food because they don't always eat it all, but we want to make sure that they have the opportunity to eat every bit that they should. Barbara, every once in a while they get fish, but they really don't much care for it, with a few exceptions. Sheena really loves fish. She prefers seafood to anything else, but she's about the only one that's crazy about it. Sheena is a serval. Sorry for it being so shaky, but I'm having to stand a long way away from her in order to get the camera up next to the cage so that you don't have cage wire in front of you. This is Reise, a cougar, and her name Reise means journey. She was sold as a pet to a drug dealer in New York, and whoever had her before just absolutely butchered her paws. Looks like they declawed her with pruning shears. She went from there to a very poorly run sanctuary down in South Florida and lived in what is the equivalent of a bird cage, concrete cell aviary type thing that you would use for parrots at some of these little roadside zoos. And she had to walk around on those poor aching paws on that concrete floor for several years, and then that person died and she ended up coming here. And so once they come here, they're here forever. we're the end of the line for these cats, and we provide them a permanent home and great food and great vet care and wonderful volunteers who love them until they die. She's over 20 years old now. Most of our cats live into their late teens and early 20s, although at most other facilities they only live to be 10 or 12. Hey, Kathleen. I'm glad to see her eating since she's been so fussy the last couple of days. Hey, Pamela. Lauren's right. Our primary goal is to put ourselves out of business, and we don't believe that these guys should ever be bred for life in prison. And you guys can help us put an end to that. Somebody said we were up to 550 calls earlier, and what we are asking everyone to do, if you are a U.S. citizen, is to call your member of Congress and ask them to co-sponsor the Big Cat Public Safety Act. And we make it really easy. You can just text the word CATS, C-A-T-S, to 52886. So the number is 52886, and then text in the word CATS. Data and messaging may apply, or data and messaging rates may apply. And what will happen is you'll get a email, or not an email, you'll get a text back immediately with the instructions on what to say, which is to ask your member of Congress to co-sponsor the Big Cat Public Safety Act, which is HR 1818. And then when you type in your name, address, telephone number so they know that you're in their district, and hit the button that says call me, it'll actually call you, patching you through to your congressman's phone, which is so cool. You don't have to look up their number or anything. The system figures it out for you, makes the call, and then patches you in and calls you when the phone is ringing. So as soon as they answer the phone, all you have to say is, please co-sponsor the Big Cat Public Safety Act. If you just do the texting part, that doesn't do any good. Nobody's hearing your message. You have to actually follow all the way through to the end, make the call, and then leave a message. And right now they're closed, so you're just going to get an answering machine, which is great if you're nervous. You can leave a message on the answering machine. Yeah, thank you. And what that will do is it lets the members of Congress know that there are a lot of people who really care about this issue, so that they will call it up for a vote. When it came, we had a similar bill back in 1999, and it took about 6 years, but when it finally got enough people that got their congressman to care about it, and it got called up for a vote, it passed unanimously. And think about that, nobody in DC gets along. And they all agreed that big cats should not be sold across state lines as pets. But there was a huge gaping loophole in the bill, and that was that anybody with a USDA license was exempted. Well, that just made the bill pretty much useless. So what this bill does is it closes down that loophole. It exempts USDA licensees, but only if they have a good track record and they're not abusing animals. So we are really hopeful that this will finally close the gap and end all of the breeding for pay-to-play props. That's 99% of the problem, is people paying to have their picture made with a cub, or paying to go see a new cub at a zoo or a roadside zoo or pseudo sanctuary. As long as people will do that kind of thing, there are evil people out there that will breed them for life in cages. So this bill will put an end to that, and you can be the reason it passes and really make a a legacy for yourself, because these animals need you, and you can make a difference in their lives by making the call of the wild. So again, just go to bigcatact.com. All of the directions for what to do are right there. Yeah, unfortunately, if you're not a U.S. citizen, the Congress people's systems won't let your text or voice or email or anything get through. So the only thing we can ask you to do if you're not a U.S. citizen is find somebody who is and tell them why it's so important and ask them to make that call for you. Did I hear you calling, Zeus? I do not hear you calling very often. Were you rowing? You were rowing. Can't see you behind the ball. Hey, Jazzy. Did I miss you guys getting something? Did I miss it?
Yeah, I just wanted to check their water.
Oh.
It was noted today that most of the water bowls were completely empty.
Everybody was really thirsty, huh?
Yeah. And Barbie says, why can't we put a bucket? I go, no, they already did that. They already let it. I said, I got to call less than a minute later to bring food because Aries had already ripped the bucket.
Yeah.
I said, Caroline, you already went through that.
It was fun ripping that bucket off the wall, wasn't it? Yes, Lauren. They're 11 years old, but everybody calls them the cubs because they arrived here as cubs. It's extremely unusual for a sanctuary to rescue a cub because the bad guys use the cubs until they're not cubs anymore. That's when they're profitable, is when they're cute babies. So it's not until they get to be adults that most sanctuaries ever end up rescuing a cat. But in their case, a hunter had shot their mom and was going to try and make them into pets, and they were confiscated by the state and ended up here. Unfortunately, the state was Idaho or Iowa. I can never remember. I think it was Idaho. And I wonder if their sign says. No. And so they could not be released back to the wild. Here in Florida, bobcats or cougars, if they are found orphaned, can be released back to the wild, and we do that with bobcats. We've never had the opportunity to help get a Florida panther back to the wild. Yes, Hoover was already named when he came to us. I don't know where my people have gone. You know how you're well, if you're right-handed, you do most things right-handed, but you'll find there's some things you always do left-handed. Apparently riding my bike is something that I usually do with my left hand, but I find that I also have to hold my stabilizer with my left hand. So if we crash, you'll know what happened. They must be out here looking for Hoover. Give him his evening meal. It's been really windy today. I apologize for this wind noise. Turn your volume down until we turn into the woods up there. I'm going to remember that one of these days. You're right, I do need a head mount, although I think it would be very heavy. I know, Matthew, everybody's so mad about those commercials. If you don't know what he's talking about, if you go in our daily updates and go back a couple of days, it's the Magnum ice cream brand, which is also the same company. I think it's Unilever. They make Breyers and Ben and Jerry's and all the good ice creams, but they're using cats in their ads, and so we've asked them to stop. They say they have no plans of using real cats again, but we'd really like for them to take those ads off the air. It just makes people mad. If they had any idea how much damage they're doing to their brand, they would. I don't wear the helmet out here because it's all dirt paths, but when I ride home, I have a helmet. Hi!
Oh, are you grumpy and I'm not even there yet?
That's why he's grumpy. You're not even here yet.
I can't him.
Like, hurry up.
You hurry up and eat your meds, and I'll get your food on your plate like right away. Okay? Don't chew it too much. Don't chew it too much. Good boy. Okay, I'll get your bucket.
Oh, hang on. Just gotta put the door down. Not yet. No, not yet. She's faster than you.
This time. Oh, I love the raised tray. Wow, thinker. I'm going, Joseph. I'm going.
Mike, we feed the cats in the morning, every morning, but there's a couple of cats who won't eat in the morning, and Joseph's one of them, so he gets fed in the evening.
Dinner is served.
Here you go, friends. You okay? Hey, Paula. You're like in my top 3 list of shoppers. I think I'm the only person who's bought more in the store than you have. Speaking of which, I have a new necklace. Look at that. It's a cheetah necklace. Isn't that beautiful? It's such a gorgeous piece, and it's on a really fine, beautiful chain. And there's the All Cats Are Kings tank top. And those earrings are in our store. You can find those over at catrescue.biz. And the little lion earrings are at bigcatrescue.biz. Yeah, we definitely do not feed roadkill. That food he's eating is very expensive stuff. But we find that if you feed a cat well, then you don't have nearly as many medical issues. So if an animal were hit by a car, or a lot of places will feed animals what they call downer animals. Those are cows and pigs and chickens that were so sick or lame that they couldn't make it to the slaughterhouse floor. And so if you can't walk in there under your own volition, then they can't be fed to people. So they will give them to people to feed to animals. Well, if they're that sick, I'm not going to feed that to our animals, because you just don't know what they might have had. And true, it could have been just that they broke a leg or something, but it's just not worth taking a chance. You just can't tell. Lauren, that cheetah necklace is so gorgeous. I mean, really, really nice quality. I've had it for weeks now, but I haven't worn it except twice because I'm just like, I get stuck by sticks and out here raking and getting filthy all the time, and I'm so afraid I'll break it. But I wore it today because I just couldn't resist it anymore. If you just go to our store, catrescue.biz, and type in the word cheetah, or go to the jewelry section of the store and type in cheetah, you'll find it. Paula, it's a tank top and a V-neck, which I really like. And the nice thing is that it's, you can't see it, but it doesn't, like, you don't, sorry if I haven't shaved, but you don't see your bra underneath there because it fits so nicely and yet has that nice V-neck. And then the design, you can get it with a lot of different designs, but it's the China doll, and it's called All Cats Are Kings, and it's a really long shirt. You can see that it goes way down, which I like. Oh, I almost hit the finish button. Matthew just let me know which one of the Sharaka memorial shirts you want, and I'll send it to you. One of the things I do with the artists who have designed the shirts is I always send them an email, which I thought I would have done with you, and let them know that they can pick out any of the shirts that they want in exchange for the design that they created for me to be able to sell in the store. And Matthew has created 2 designs at least, maybe 3. I know he did the one called Where Have All the Lions Gone? I really love that one too. Carolyn, this is Joseph. Kelsey, I think the shirt is $19.99, and it's one of those, it's like moisture wicking shirts. It's really nice and cool. I'm so glad he's eating so well. Oh, Lawana, thank you for posting that link. Yes, Christine, Jamie Veronica is my daughter. And the other Kathleen, yes, this is Joseph. Yes, Matthew did lion lines too. Nanita, we have never had fleas and ticks on the lions or tigers. I don't know if maybe their skin is just so thick that they don't get fleas and ticks, or if it's just that we don't have them in our environment. The vet had noted the other day when he was giving a presentation, which is another video that I need to get posted to YouTube, but he had noted that in all the years he's been our vet, he's never seen fleas on any of our cats, and that just changed for the first time ever. About a week ago, Divinity came in for a dental and she had a flea, and we're just like, no fleas. So what we do is we have to keep the grounds raked, and we treat the cats every month for fleas. So they get, and you have to keep changing what you use because the fleas become resistant to it. So we use a variety of things. We use Advantage, Program, Revolution. I'm missing one. I think there's another one. Christina, I bet you're glad to be home from work. Just in time to see Joseph munching down on his dinner. Well, thank you. I see somebody, is it Kelsey, said that the shirt's on its way to her in Colorado, so I appreciate that. The store at bigcatrescue.biz, all of the profits from everything that we sell in that store goes to providing food and vet care for the cats here. All of the animal care. And then the catrescue.biz store is a site that the money from that actually is generated in order to use for political campaigns. So in order to get our bills passed, we have to support candidates when they run, animal-friendly candidates, And we can do some of that sort of thing, not supporting candidates, but we can do some legislative work from the funds at Big Cat Rescue. But the IRS is very stringent on what percentage of your funds can go to that kind of work. So I set up the catrescue.biz store separately and as a for-profit entity so that it can donate 100% of the profits to the work that will actually put an end to these animals being bred for life in cages. So either one of those stores that you support, you're certainly supporting cats, whether food and vet care or creating a more humane environment. Karen, you're another one that has bought a bunch in the store. When people buy so much, I start to know their name. I know they have bought a lot in the store. And that's saying something because I get like 200 emails a day. Are you guys locked in? I am. Oh, thank you. So they about locked me in for the night. Okay, so one last thing before we sign off tonight. Let's do a Facebook Live question of the day. And the first person who's never won before, who goes to bigcatrescue.org/win and posts in the correct answer, that person will win their choice of a day tour pass, which is valued at $36 to Big Cat Rescue, or any one item from either one of the stores, catrescue.biz or bigcatrescue.biz. And the question for today is, I need day, month, and year for the date of birth for Dryden Bobcat. Dryden Bobcat. If you guys have been watching, I focused in on that sign early on in the feed. So the first person to go to bigcatrescue.org/win and type in the month, day, and year for Dryden the Bobcat's birthday. We're still eating. Martha, we absolutely agree that we wish you were free, and you can help us do that at bigcatact.com. Yvette wants to know what was on his menu for this evening.
10 pounds of a combination of turkey drumsticks, turkey wings, and beef. And we have a couple of bone-in chicken thighs I want to try them with. I just got Cameron to eat 4 pounds.
Oh,
Are you gonna let
you are the lion whisperer.
Are you gonna let Cameron eat you? Nobody else wants bones, and that's the only thing that's working from here. Bone-in thighs. I don't know.
Dabney says you always seem to know what they need.
Not always. Yesterday was not good. I couldn't get anybody to eat anything.
It was hot.
It was really hot. Bruce just wanted to shower. He didn't want to eat anything. PJ didn't want to eat. He wanted to shower. I think he only ate a couple pounds last night. That's usually
Mike, I don't know if you were asking if there's ever special prices on the items in the stores or if you're talking about our tours. What we've had to do over the years is keep raising our prices for our tours because we want the sanctuary to be peaceful. Oh, my phone is, or my stabilizer actually is going bonkers here. Sorry about that. It's like, ah! Hold on a second. Okay. We want the sanctuary to remain peaceful for the cats. And so we have to keep raising the prices because so many people want to come and see the cats. And the only way we can do that is to make it cost prohibitive, which is a shame. But I don't know any other way to keep the numbers down around 27,000 people a year. Yep, it's paw licking time, which means he's done. So Becky put the door down and she's picking up what he did not eat. And we'll go back and weigh it and find out exactly how much he did consume. If you were asking about do we run specials on the store items, yes, every day I pick a different item and run a 40% off sale on it, which means you're getting it for my cost or less in some cases, just to get people over to the store. And every day you can see what that item is by either going to our main website, which is bigcatrescue.org, and looking over in the sidebar, or you can go to catrescue.biz and look under the flash sale tab. Susan, the t-shirts are at catrescue.biz and bigcatrescue.biz. Alright, I'm going to call it a night. Thank you, Joseph. Thank you, Becky.